Hi, it's Amelia. Today I'd like to talk about how I cope with rejection as an actor. So just recently, I got news that I didn't get a role that I really wanted. It was between me and another girl, so I had made it to the last two. Oh, and I was so disappointed and so sad. But I want to share that over the years, I've learned not to see it as rejection. I've understood that not getting a role doesn't mean rejection. So I've put together 10 strategies based on my experience on how I deal with the disappointment of not getting a role. Here they are. Strategy number 1, auditions are an opportunity to learn. So yes, auditions are a job interview, but they're also a learning experience. So after every audition, I write in my notes on my phone 2-3 things that I did well and 2-3 things that I can improve on. Then I'll bring that to either an acting class or I'll work on it in my next audition as like a little goal for myself. So for example, if I felt like I wasn't listening in my previous audition, well, I'll work on that in my next audition. It could be, I could work on, relaxation. I could work on clear eyeline. I could work on making clear choices. Secondly, chances are you'll get called in for similar roles because it's your casting. So why not keep working on that audition text? Or why not find similar characters or stories and work on that in acting classes? Strategy number 2, turn it into a positive and beneficial experience. So continuing off of my first strategy, use the work you've done to your advantage. Choose a scene you've been working on and film it as a self-tape. So my agent uses those to get me in the audition room. If, let's say, a casting doesn't know me, or they might think I'm not a good fit for a certain role. It doesn't have to be super professional, just make sure you have a clean background. We see you and hear you very well. You might get inspired and write your own projects, or I took my experience and I'm making a video about it. So no matter how you use your experience, there's always a way to turn it into something positive. Strategy number 3, have a support system. Have someone you can call, someone you can meet up with. I think having a community is super important. Like, for example, have an acting community. Why not? There's nothing like sharing things that you're going through with people that go through the same thing. You can support each other, be there for one another. It feels really good. I also have no shame in saying that I see a therapist fairly regularly to talk about all sorts of things, including stuff like this. It's okay to be, disappointed. It's okay to be sad. Honor your truth. And then get up and keep working. Strategy number 4. This is the reality of acting. Before I get to this strategy, I just want to say that I don't want to create any limiting beliefs inside of you. Your reality is pretty much what you believe. I'm just sharing my experience of acting. Take some, leave some. This is the business of acting. You'll get a lot of no's and you will get yeses if you persist. It takes time to build your network. It takes time to get experience. Auditioning, on set. I feel like if you come in knowing this, it'll make it easier. I actually rarely share with my friends and family anymore when I have auditions because talking about it actually made me anxious. And then, of course, they'll ask questions, did you hear about it? How did it go? And yeah, that just made me really stressed, and the disappointment of not getting it was always worse after that. So, strategy number 5, understand there's so much you don't control. There are so many actors that will audition with you, and there's so much you don't control. Sometimes they want a very specific energy, sometimes they want a certain body type, a hair color. It's happened to me before that I've auditioned for a role that in the end, a guy got it. So it's not that you're not good, it's not that you're not good enough, it's just that sometimes it's not the right fit, and that's okay. So do your best and not take it personally. Let me just add to this. There is a lot of things you don't control, but there is one thing you do control that's to your advantage. That's your preparation. Strategy number 6. Don't rely on acting financially. I'm just sharing my own experience. In my experience, and some of my friends, you might need part-time jobs. For how long? I don't know. But that breakthrough role that we all wish for might come one day. But I would just say, don't rely on it and live in a fantasy. Especially if you're just starting out. But even after pursuing this for 12 years, I've had times where I could totally live off of acting for even up to over a year. And then I had to get part-time jobs again. If you go into your audition relying on that job to pay the bills, that's like super stressful. And plus, like having a regular-ish paycheck makes me feel really good, more confident, more relaxed, and then I can bring this energy into my auditions. In my humble opinion, it might be worth putting in some time on learning a set of skills, education, to get a part-time job you might enjoy, or even a full-time job. I know actors that make it work. I kind of wish I did that sooner. For now, I'm a replacement teacher, which is perfect. They call me in the morning. If I'm free, I go, and it allows me to keep doing my auditions. And at the same time, I'm finishing school, which is awesome. I'm so proud of myself. Strategy number 7, don't rely on acting to be happy. Firstly, as simple as this may sound, live your life. I've learned that there's a difference between making certain sacrifices to pursue a career and putting your life and happiness aside. Remember, life experiences is actually what feeds your art. Go on that trip. Take time to study. Put acting aside for a while if that's what your heart desires. I know some actors who took a break, and despite what some people thought, when they came back to it, they did get jobs. So just do you and be you, and trust that that is always the best recipe. Secondly, as an actor, I have so much time on my hands. I used to wait for acting to fill in the gaps. I speak for myself, but I've gotten depressed so many times because of this empty space. I've learned to take responsibility to fill that empty space with my own projects, find things that fulfill me. When acting is there, I'm grateful, and when it's not, I'm okay. And I trust that it will come when it's meant to come. Strategy number 8. Trust. Oh, trust. Yeah, that's a difficult one for me, at least. Trust that your consistent hard work, your work on your diction, on your voice, your acting classes, all the work you put into your auditions, it will pay off when the time is right. So my life coach once gave me an example of a water pump. Let me explain. So for those of you probably born no later than the 1990s, know what a water pump is. My dad used to have one at the cottage. So in the bathroom there was a water pump with a pipe going all the way to the lake, and then you had to pump the water for quite a long time before the water would come up the pipe. And then finally when the water flowed, it flowed a lot. So the whole idea of this image is that most people quit before their career even had time to begin. I don't know, maybe my explanation was completely horrible. Also, acting might show up in ways that you did not expect. So I would encourage you to stay open to new opportunities. Strategy number 9, stay grounded and present. It's okay to have big dreams and goals. It's all good, but make sure that you're grounded. It's easy sometimes to start fantasizing about how our life would change if we got that role. So do your auditions, do your work, and then close that chapter. So just stay present to your current reality. And let's do a little exercise. I think it's a fun one. Ask yourself, what is success to you? So at first, when someone asked me this question, I was like, oh, well, I guess it's, $10 million, fame. That's kind of on the surface answer. When I really dig deep, I realize that success to me actually doesn't have a number on how much money I would make. It's about how I feel. And in times I felt most successful and most fulfilled and happy was actually when I was completely independent, when I was actively working on my projects, when I finished my projects and I could share them with people. It's when I'm resourceful, when I'm creative, when I can travel and I have money saved up in the bank. That's when I feel amazing. I mean, of course I'd still say yes to $10 million, but you know what I mean. Last but not least, strategy number 10. Personal development. So this is a deep one and a very personal one for me. I believe that the more I work on myself, the more I'm aware of my limiting beliefs, my challenges, my fears. Instead of them controlling me, I can control them. My essence, my person, is my number one priority. And everything else, including acting, is just experiences that teach me lessons that help me become the best version of myself. There you have it, my 10 strategies. I just want to say a quick thank you to my friends for sharing a bit about their own experience that helped me make this video. And I just want to say as well, I know this business can be really hard, but I do believe that with consistent hard work and persistence, anything is possible. If you have any questions, any comments, please share in the comments below. It makes me so happy. Thank you for watching and have a great day.